way, how was decimalization?
What? Oh, you mean metric conversion? Oh, dreadful. I must be getting old.
Mrs. Barnes? My name is Morse from Oxford. Is Deborah in by any chance?
I'm so sorry she's not here, Mr. Morse. She's just taken Sabina. That's our other daughter, Rachel's little girl, to the zoo.
Oh, that's all right. I'm sure I'll find her. Thank you.
What on earth?
It's all right.
You never said you were a policeman.
Just want to know what happened. Would you like a nice lolly?
It's all right, Sabina. You wanted a camel ride, didn't you? Yes, you did. Come along. We'll come back to the elephants later, I promise. Come on.
It was never any good with children or animals.
I realised I'd lost the earring when I got home. I was in such a panic.
Why did you go and see him in the first place?
I wanted to confront him as I had Dr. Kerridge. I just couldn't understand how someone who'd been so close to me as Alex could have treated me that way, robbing me of both my job and my reputation.
You'd already threatened to expose Alex. Why didn't you?
Because I still loved him, I suppose.
So you went to see him. How did you get into the lodgings?
I sent him a note at high table saying I was waiting for him. He came as soon as he could get away.
You know?
He can be very persuasive, you know.
I know.
Do you?
He persuaded you into bed. What else did he persuade you of?
That if I was a good girl and kept my mouth shut, we could carry on just as before. And he'd help me with my career.
And if you didn't?
I asked that. He said that it was up to me. If I made the wrong choice, it would be very sad for both of us.
What do you think he meant?
The tone of his voice. It made me go cold all over.
He was threatening you?
Letting me know how easily he could destroy me if he chose.
So then what happened?
He went to get some more champagne. To celebrate, I don't know. In the study. I stayed in the bedroom. Then I heard a couple of pops. Like champagne corks exploding. Then a crash. I came out and there he was.
You saw nobody else?
The door closed. I froze. Then I ran to put on my clothes and got out as quickly as I could.
You could have reported it to the police, Miss Burns.
I thought about it. And then I thought, I'm the obvious suspect. I haven't an alibi or any witnesses. I just couldn't... You can understand that, can't you?
But Drysdale could still be armed.
There'll be no need for guns.
Well, he managed to kill Reese with one, which he must have kept from his wartime days in the SOE. According to the War Museum, they were received with well rods. It may look like a kid's pop gun, but it's lethal.
Come on, let's pick him up. He's not gonna kill anymore.
You can never tell, sir. Sometimes they get a taste for it, and after 3 murders...
I know the man, Lewis. He thinks of himself as a man of virtue.
But his disease has turned him into a lunatic.
It's in the best classical tradition, Lewis. The man of virtue puts right the wrongs that have been done to him.
Meaning?
You got old Ben to spill what everybody knew except us, that in the dim and distant past, Ballarat ran off with Drysdale's wife.
You mean revenge?
The oldest motive of all.
Yeah, well, why kill Reese?
Because he pipped Drysdale, for the Sheldon lectureship, ended up master.
And Dr. Carriage had been an enemy for years.
Which leaves only one to conquer.
The police.
No, Lewis. The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death.
Sir?
The New Testament.
My school assemblies were multicultural. But I still don't understand how you
To
can
the
destroy...
classical mind, the way to conquer death is to become an Olympian. A hero who spends the afterlife being fated by the gods.
And how do you manage that, sir?
Well, the best route to heroism is via valiant deeds.
Well, killing people isn't very valiant, sir.
It is to a deranged mind.
You're agreeing with me, then? You think he's a nutter?
Cancer of the brain, according to the best available medical advice.
Would that be Dr. Russell, sir?
Cancer of the brain can lead to profound character changes. The trivial slights of a lifetime can assume gigantic proportions.
Well, that's surely why we should protect ourselves. How do we know he's in the college, anyway?
When a man's lived there for most of his adult life, where else would he go to die? Drysdale.
Look at the mess you made me make.
It's Ben, isn't it?
This is Chief Inspector Morse.
Where's Mr. Drysdale?
You just missed him by 2 minutes, sir. He only showed up this morning. Very peculiar state he was.
Come on, Lewis.
I wouldn't recognise him, sir. It has been a few years, and if he's ill...
Once you're taken to the university's bosom, Lewis, you're preserved like Sleeping Beauty in a rarefied atmosphere of hot air and alcohol. Aging is unknown. Not that Drysdale was ever young. There he is. Mr. Drysdale! Mr. Drysdale! Mr. Drysdale!
Like Laos on the road to Thebes. I don't suppose you remember much of your Greek, eh, Morse?
Where Oedipus killed his father. Send for an ambulance, would you, Lewis?
Right.
I fed him down the nights and down the days. I fled him down the arches of the years. I fled him down the labyrinthine ways of my own mind. And in the midst of tears, I hid from him. And under running laughter.
But with an hurrying chase, an unperturbed pace, deliberate speed, majestic instancy, they beat, and a voice beat more instant than the feet. All things betray thee, who betrayest me.
Maybe I was in error, having our scholarship taken away.
I wondered if you'd remember.
Cancer hasn't got to my memory, you know. If you'd done any work at all, you could have got a first.
I doubt it. I have a good memory, but a prosaic mind.
Perfect qualifications.
For a policeman, you mean?
Well, junior fellow. Did your work go all to pieces? I suppose it was a woman.
Shouldn't have sports days, mate. Here, where do you think you're going?
He needs his plants, sir. Cheer him up.
Cheer him up. He's not just getting over a hernia operation, you know. He's being charged with murder.
It'll never come to court, though, will it? I mean, he's not going to live that long, is he?
Well, maybe not, but I'm not letting you
Let
barge
him
in.
have it. What harm can it do?
I'll see what I can do. Off you go.
Can we talk about Ballarat?
Not a man to be trusted. Not with anything.
How did you get him to Kerridge's flat?
Simple. His vanity.
You wrote him the same sort of letter you wrote to Kerridge about appearing on television.
I'm told there are some people who will kill to get before the cameras. Mine was an appropriate way of turning the tables, don't you think?
And you cut up the body?
Yes, wonderful invention. The hacksaw, remarkably cheap, remarkably efficient, and simple to use.
There must have been quite a mess.
To cleanse the Augean stables, Hercules diverted the river Alpheus. I made do with plastic sheeting and a J-cloth.
And you went to all that trouble in order to delay detection until you disposed of the rest of your victims.
Hound of Heaven could not be deprived of its quarry.
Why bother taking the bits all the way to Thrupp? He could perfectly well have implicated Kerridge by letting the corpse be discovered in his flat.
Simple. I didn't want him to discover anything untoward. I hoped to kill him when he least expected it.
You thought Kerridge had blackened your name to the college council in order to get them to vote him in as Sheldon lecturer. He thought the same about you. In the event, Reese got the job. But you and Kerridge became implacable enemies. That's why you killed him.
There's a theory that has much to commend it. Unfortunately, your conclusions are false. Oh, I tried. I waited in his flat. And when he finally succeeded in shaking off that tiresome Miss Burns, I went to him. I would have shot him, but I had only 4 bullets left, some of which might have been duds.
And you wanted to be sure of a bullet for Reese.
That man was a Cronus, Morse, devouring anyone who might conceivably threaten him. He achieved dubious eminence by destroying my good name and that of Kerridge.
Whom you destroyed by bashing in his skull.
I did no such thing. I attempted to strangle him, but failed.
Dr. Carey, we are trying to master the Belita.
I lay in wait until he emerged from his flat, showed him my gun, got him to unlock the gate to the gardens where I intended to dispose of him.
Why didn't you?
Because he convinced me that it was not he who had slandered my name to the college council, which, as you correctly stated, was my assumption. Never let it be said, I am deaf to persuasion.
So it must have been Reese.
That was my inevitable, if I may say so, correct conclusion.
And Reese who killed him. Because of his overweening ambition, he couldn't bear to be exposed as a plagiarist and a liar.
I rather doubt Kerridge would have gone so far. He was rather fond of a quiet life, as it was to be denied him. Ever and anon, a trumpet sounds from the hid battlements of eternity.
And finally you made the trumpet sound for Reese.
Would you deny that he deserved it? days have crackled and gone up in smoke. Have puffed and burst like sunstarts on a stream. Nay, failest thou even dream the dreamer, and the lute, the lutanist.
Thank you, Mr. Drysdale.
I thought the chief superintendent was quite generous, didn't you, sir? Considering you got it right about Reese when he warned you off.
I didn't get it quite right, Lewis, not in the academic sense.
We're not academic, though, are we, sir? Thank goodness.
Morse. Do you believe in birthdays?
Huh. Do I have a choice?
Well, it's my birthday today, and I've no one to celebrate with. So, what about that drink?
My dear Grayling,
Well, Sergeant Lewis tells me that you're a great connoisseur of country pubs. Will you take me to one? As a treat?
I'll pick you up at 7.
Thanks.
Hold on a minute. Happy birthday.
You shouldn't have.
Sam! What a lovely surprise! Oh. Oh, God. This is Sam Morse, a very dear friend. We're at medical school together. Chief Inspector Morse, one of my colleagues. What are you doing here?
Birthday weekend. Your office told me where to find you.
Sam.
Can I get you a drink, Sam?
Oh, great, thanks. Half a lager.
Grayling?
Oh, thanks, I'm fine.
Oh.
Oh, it's really good to see you. You look great.